Hollywood power couples who built empires together. One couple turned a $17 million horror film into a $340 million franchise. Another couple didn't speak to each other for 2 days after filming the most disturbing scene of the year, and they're married with 2 kids. One couple's bodies were literally fused together by prosthetics for 10 hours a day, and they had to use the bathroom together. And one couple has a secret hidden inside every Marvel movie you've ever watched. An Easter egg so meta that even die-hard fans missed it. Iron Man's AI and Spider-Man's AI? Married. In real life. These are 7 Hollywood power couples who didn't just fall in love on set, they built empires together. And their stories will change the way you watch movies forever. John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. The $340 million domestic project, John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, met at a restaurant in 2008 through a mutual friend. Krasinski was sitting with Justin Theroux. He saw Blunt across the room. He abandoned his friend mid-conversation and walked straight to her. As he told People magazine, the moment he shook her hand, his only thought was, "Oh no, I think I'm going to fall in love with her." They married in 2010. But the real story isn't how they met, it's what they built. In 2018, Krasinski wrote and directed A Quiet Place. He wrote the mother's role with Blunt in mind but was too nervous to ask her. She was filming Mary Poppins Returns and had just had their second daughter. He suggested another actress instead. Blunt read his script on a plane. By the time she landed, she called him and said she had to do it. In her words, "It represented some of my deepest fears, of not being able to protect my children." A Quiet Place grossed over $340 million worldwide on a budget of just $17 million. It became a franchise. What makes it remarkable is that their real-life marriage, the unspoken language, the silent trust, the micro-expressions that only a real couple can share, is the entire engine of the film. Krasinski turned his marriage into a cinematic weapon, and it doubled both of their careers overnight. Everyone warned them they'd want a divorce after working together. Instead, Blunt turned to him after the final cut and said, "You just directed a silent film." Kirsten Dunst and Jesse Plemons, the couple who played enemies on screen. Most Hollywood couples play lovers on screen. Kirsten Dunst and Jesse Plemons did the opposite. They met in 2015 on the set of Fargo Season 2, playing husband and wife. They later reunited in Jane Campion's The Power of the Dog. They married in 2022 and have 2 children. But the truly wild chapter came in Alex Garland's Civil War. The film became A24's highest-grossing release, made on a $50 million budget. Dunst plays a war photojournalist. Plemons appears in the film's most chilling scene, as a racist militia leader who casually executes civilians. He points a gun at his own wife's character and asks, "What kind of American are you?" Plemons wasn't even supposed to be in the movie. The original actor dropped out days before shooting. Dunst herself suggested her husband. Nobody else wanted the role. Plemons took it as a favor. Dunst later revealed they didn't speak to each other during those 2 days on set. She gave him his space. He gave her hers. After they finished, co-star Wagner Moura was found crying on the grass. A real-life married couple playing antagonists in the most terrifying scene of the year. Every previous collaboration had them as lovers. This one made them enemies. And it was their best work yet. Paul Bettany and Jennifer Connelly. The MCU's hidden love story. This is the Easter egg that changes everything. Paul Bettany voices Jarvis, the artificial intelligence inside Iron Man's suit. When Marvel needed an AI voice for Spider-Man's suit in Homecoming, Kevin Feige cast Jennifer Connelly as Karen. The director jokingly called her Jarvis's wife. Feige later confirmed it was deliberate, saying, 1, she's a great actress. 2, she inhabits classic 80s films that inspired us. And 3, most meta of all, she's married to Jarvis. The 2 AI systems guiding the biggest superheroes in the Marvel Universe are literally married to each other. But their love story is even better than the Easter egg. Bettany and Connelly met on the set of A Beautiful Mind in 2001. Bettany had been crushing on Connelly since he was a teenager. After watching her in Labyrinth, they were on different continents, different careers. Then Ron Howard cast them in the same film. They didn't start dating immediately, but on September 11, 2001, Bettany was overseas when the attacks happened. He spent 2 days trying to reach her, panicking. In that moment, he realized he was in love. When he finally got through, he proposed. Before they'd ever been on a single date, she said yes. They married on New Year's Day 2003 and have been together for over 2 decades. They also played husband and wife in Creation, portraying Charles and Emma Darwin. A Beautiful Mind, the MCU, Darwin. This couple's filmography reads like a greatest hits album of cinema itself. Javier Bardem and Penélope Cruz. The 30-year slow burn. Javier Bardem and Penélope Cruz first met on a film set in 1992. She was 16, he was 23. There was, in his words, obvious chemistry. But nothing happened. They went their separate ways for 15 years. 15 years. Then Woody Allen cast them both in Vicky Cristina Barcelona in 2008. This time, the chemistry became real. They started dating during production. Cruz won the Oscar for that role, Best Supporting Actress, becoming the first Spanish actress to win an Academy Award. They married in a secret ceremony in the Bahamas in 2010. Since then, they've co-starred in 8 films together across 3 decades. But the most exciting chapter is happening right now. In 2026, Oscar-winning director Florian Zeller wrote a new psychological thriller called Bunker, specifically for the two of them. He said publicly, "I wanted to tell the story of a marriage and was deeply compelled to work with a real-life couple. I wrote Bunker for them." The film follows an architect who accepts a morally questionable project, and his wife of 17 years begins to question their entire marriage. Sound familiar? Zeller is deliberately blurring the line between fiction and the real relationship of two of cinema's greatest actors, Dave Franco and Alison Brie. The couple who use scarcity as a weapon. Dave Franco and Alison Brie have been together for over 13 years and married since 2017. Together is their 5th collaboration. But here's what makes them different from every other couple on this list. They deliberately limit how often they work together. Franco said it himself in a Deadline interview, "We're very selective. We don't want people seeing us on screen too often where they become sick of us." He expanded on it at Sundance. "We don't want to burn people out on us. It's nice to go off and then get excited again about working together. That scarcity is a strategy. Every time they do appear together, it feels like an event." Their 2025 horror film, Together, became one of the best-reviewed horror films of the year, earning an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes and grossing $32 million. Critics called it a couple's therapy session disguised as body horror. The film had them physically conjoined by prosthetics for hours at a time, including going to the bathroom together. Franco later joked, "We either end in divorce or we're more codependent than ever." Luckily, it was the latter. Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall, the original power couple. Before any of these couples existed, there was Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. They met on the set of To Have and Have Not in 1944. He was 44. She was 19. The chemistry was so electric that director Howard Hawks reportedly couldn't tell where the acting ended and the real feelings began. They married in 1945 and co-starred in 4 films together, including The Big Sleep and Key Largo. Their on-screen dynamic, the tough guy softened by a woman who could match his every word, created the template Hollywood has been copying for 80 years. Bogart died in 1957. Bacall once said, "I used to think that the only thing I'd ever done right in my life was to fall in love with Humphrey Bogart." Every power couple on this list is standing on the shoulders of Bogey and Bacall. Hollywood spends millions trying to manufacture chemistry through casting and lighting. But sometimes, 2 actors walk onto a set, fall in love, and give you something no budget can buy, the real thing. Which couple shocked you the most? Did you know Jarvis and Karen were married? Drop it in the comments. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.